I had the opportunity to watch a group of teen students in Newark working with their Global Village mentors on a Saturday in December, as you know, because you were with me. And it was really interesting because a lot of their classmates were away on a field trip. They do go to school on Saturday, but they didn't seem to resent not being on the field trip. They seemed to be having a really good time. I could listen in on some of the conversations, and it was really clear that they'd developed relationships with their college student mentors, and everybody seemed to be working hard but enjoying it. So after they finished their work for the day, I sat down and talked with several of them. Writers Kathy on Love and Nadrea Futrell, first-time story writers, about meeting and working with their college mentors. Did either of you go on the IU trip?
We both went.
You did? Okay. Had you met your partners before?
No.
So this was the first time.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was like very awkward. I was scared, like, who am I going to get? Like, is she going to like me?
I was like, I hope she's not boring, but I hope she's going to like me. I hope I'm not too pushy. Like there's a lot that you're just like,
curious.
I hope it goes well.
And did it?
It did really well.
I feel like someone really specifically picked her for me.
Yeah.
Like, it was like
They matched the personalities.
Do you think they were nervous?
Yeah. She told me they were waiting. They made like little signs, like welcome to Drea. And
That's great. What do you like about Books and Beyond, about working on your stories and the projects? What are you learning?
I'm learning that, like, what I like that we can, like, come from elementary, middle school with college students, and that can, like, collide, like, a lot of different age groups. You don't really socialize outside your age group, so to work with them on a story, it's really nice.
I think it's really nice because, like, I've always thought about writing a book, like, later in life, but now I get to learn, like, stuff about it, the main, like, how to write a book, and I'm actually getting, like, the opportunity to write a book.
And how do you think this is going to help you later on?
I think it really builds your character because you get to help, like, other people that's less fortunate than you, and you get to help them learn a different language. I'm trying to learn a different language. It's not that easy. So, like, to learn another different language, we can understand the struggles with that, so it could really be nice to have.
The 15-year-old Odom twins, Jason and Jessica, are two-year program veterans. What is it that you like about creating the stories?
Working with the computer technology to collaborate with my partner.
What I like about it is coming up with different ideas and getting everyone else's ideas and incorporating it into my story. And to my opinion, the best part is coming up with the illustrations because I want them to be as best as possible.
And who actually does the illustrations?
I'm doing them this year. Me and my partner, we work together. I get her approval before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole program, what do you think you're getting out of it?
I think personally that I'm getting to know other people. Like, in living in New Jersey, you don't know about other people's struggle because you have a lot. But when you get to hear about other people who don't have books or who don't have the things that you have, things that are easy for you to get in everyday life, it's like it opens up your eyes and opens up your mind and makes you want to be helpful and to think about what you have and not just want everything, but just get things that you need in life. Because, there's people out there who don't get everything that they want.
And how do you think this is going to help you, with whatever you decide to do with your life?
It helps me look into other people's eyes and how they view the world. Also, get to know the truth about what's going on in other countries and also how college life really is.
8th grader Zaire Culver summed up why he's involved in the program.
It gives a sense of urgency that we have to teach and change the world, like, right now. Because if we don't, it's going to become chaos. Like it gives me my mind that, wants to push me. Like, give everyone else a chance, because not everybody in this world has a chance that I have. So I want to give the chance back. Nancy, I don't think that Books and Beyond became real to me for as much as I watched you go through the process that you did until that day when I sat down with those students. And I've had some opportunities since then to get to interact with more of them. In January, when your IU students were here to finalize the stories and to take part in that first fundraiser that you did, I had a chance to meet with two of them. Madeline Kissel is a senior from St. Louis, and Ross Smith is a sophomore from Bloomfield, but not Bloomfield, New Jersey, Bloomfield, Indiana. Ross and two other Global Village residents are going to represent Books and Beyond at the Clinton Global Initiative University Conference in San Diego in April, which is really a major achievement. What compelled each of you to get involved with Books and Beyond?
For me, I was there when it just started. And I still remember coming back, and Nancy had come to visit us the very first time to discuss her idea and the plans and everything, and she played the video about team schools and the video about Rwanda, and it was just, I mean, it gave me goosebumps just to think, and I just remember thinking, I want to get involved. And so I signed up immediately for like 2 different positions, and it was crazy and it was hectic, but I've loved it ever since.
And what were the 2 different positions?
My first year I was a writing partner and a fundraiser.
And now?
And now I am strictly fundraising.
Ross?
Well, I guess I got there the second year of Books and Beyond. When I arrived at IU, it was fairly well publicized, and being an education major, I was really interested in something that used education as a sort of force for social change. And I knew I wanted to be involved in the project somehow. I wasn't sure quite what role I wanted to take on, so I took on a role on the fund development team because they mentioned it would develop grant writing experience or something, and I figured as a teacher it was important to have those types of skills. And so it was just interesting to be able to see the project as a whole from that perspective on the fund development team. And then the second year I wanted to try something else, so I joined the evaluation team, which deals with trying to evaluate the effects of the project upon the participants, both the negative effects and the positive effects. So it's also, we're looking at the project as a whole and just trying to see, what's working, maybe what isn't working.
And now you said that's a relatively new position, so this will be the first year
for the evaluation team, right?
And at what point will that take place?
It's been going on since October. We'll wrap up in February. We're actually writing a research paper based on our findings, which will be published in a journal. I'm not sure which one, but.
And, this is a service learning project, and I know that service learning has grown quite a bit. What do you think you've gotten from your involvement with Books and Beyond in the different roles you've played that you wouldn't have learned in a classroom? And what are the most important things you think you've learned?
For me, doing fundraising, I've been really working with finding grants and writing grants and organizing different presentations and participating in community events and presenting. And, it's one thing to present in a class and you have to present in that class and everybody has to listen to you and it's very structured and very stable. But to be presenting to somebody else and sort of saying that they have no idea what Books and Beyond is, and then even to go a step further at times and, ask for a donation or some kind of thing, it's like a completely different thing because people, they don't just want to give their money away, so they really want to make sure that Books and Beyond is a worthwhile organization. So you have to know everything. And so just the presenting skills and public speaking has really been probably the best skills that I've learned.
What about the period of time that you were serving as a writing partner?
That was very interesting, being a writing partner the very first year, because it was still trying to figure out the best ways to communicate. So we had different sessions, and we really tried just to stay in touch via email. And we had each other's cell phone numbers, but it was just also the whole long-distance communication and really working with somebody that we didn't really know. We didn't meet each other face-to-face until that spring. So we've been working the entire fall semester without really meeting each other face-to-face.
When did this using Skype come in?
Skype really didn't become a major thing until about, I believe, the second year. We had to, getting the funding for that.
Because that was, since I did get to see the team school students working with their Indiana University writing partners on Skype, it seemed to be working pretty well. And it was impressive to see how that was working and how the social interaction between the students and how serious everybody was about getting, finalizing their stories for this year's book.
A much better program than what we had been using.
Ross, what are you getting that you...
Well, my first year, obviously I agree with Madeline about gaining grant writing experience and how to give a professional presentation, when I was involved with the fund development team. But really what struck me my first year was when I visited the team schools, just seeing the way that the teachers there interact with their students and just like the dedication they have to their profession really helped me to remember why I wanted to go into that particular profession. So that had a huge impact upon me. And then being there today, we visited one of the charter elementary schools, and I just thought, this is the sort of environment I want to go into. So, on the evaluation team, it's definitely been interesting participating in this major research project, which I've never been involved with before, and just seeing how that sort of works. And
you've actually anticipated one of my questions, which is how this experience is going to have an impact on your future. And because you mentioned that you are planning to go into secondary education, And you're going into policy analysis. Has this had any, impact on your direction, on how you might fine-tune your plans?
Definitely. I mean, I know just the skill set that I've learned is going to translate into anything that I do, but I've definitely become more interested in education policy and, sort of being able to fine-tune from just the policy spectrum as a whole to narrowing it down to a couple fields that I'm really interested in. So trying to then get involved in those fields and trying to figure out how I can apply what I'm learning and studying at the same time.
And I assume that a lot of your friends and people you know are involved in different kinds of service learning projects.
Yeah, I mean, most are in the Books and Beyond, really, at least for me. I think there's just something more personal about Books and Beyond. I don't know, like, you see the change rather than just, I don't know, assuming that you're making a difference. I don't know, maybe you...
For me, I was involved for a year in a community service fraternity on campus, and so we would volunteer our time at, the soup kitchen or different organizations around town, and that was where you would go there and they'd say, we need you to do this for 2 hours. And you do it, and you were like, okay, that's great, feel good, I made a difference somehow, I'm not sure how, but I'm being told that I did. And with Books and Beyond, it's so much more than that, it's much more involved. I've been able to see it from the very beginning, how you build up a program like this and how you the different bumps and things that you would never think of having to plant ahead for, you're having to do. So it's much more, I'm being able to see the effect all the while still working. I feel like I'm actually doing something more productive than just, stuffing an envelope.
Nancy, that's clearly the beyond part of the Books and Beyond, and I think that it's obvious that each group of participants is getting something important and something that they recognize and value.
That's really true, Kathy. The Beyond part in Books and Beyond is almost as exciting to me, and maybe equally as exciting to me, as the actual writing of the books and delivering the books. Over the past 4 years, we've had 100 American Books and Beyond student participants who have put in over 4,000 hours of service into this project. And all the students are getting valuable, practical skills to help them succeed, and they're also getting insight into different cultures.
And that includes not just the culture of Rwanda, but for the Newark kids, the culture of being in college, and for the kids in college, the culture of being in the charter school.
Absolutely. The younger students are getting encouragement by visiting the IU campus, and we're planting the seed because they want to continue their education after being involved in this program. The Rwandan teachers are getting something that they really value. They're getting teaching materials, and they're getting assistance with learning English.
And I assume at some level also for the students at Kabwende, it's an incentive to stay in school because they're learning things that are going to help them in the real world and the global economy. What is Nancy getting?
What am I getting? Well, I'm getting an enormous amount of satisfaction in having connected students from 3 different parts of the globe and watching them learn and grow through this program that's providing essential work.
And as I said, you're going back this summer to deliver Volume 3, and this will be your 4th trip to Rwanda, including that fateful original trip. Are you looking forward to it?
I am so looking forward to this. This country has become very near and dear to me, and I get on the ground and I recognize the roads and I recognize the landscape, and now I recognize the people and they recognize me, and it's enormously satisfying.
And you say that you usually get a traditional greeting with drumming and dancing, and it sounds like just a wonderful, wonderful kind of experience. Nancy, thank you again for being my first guest. Our listeners can learn more about Books and Beyond at the Indiana University website or on the DIY World Improvement Radio Show Facebook page, where you will also get information about our upcoming shows. Thank you for joining us today.
I think it really builds your character because you get to help like other people that's less fortunate than you, and you get to help them learn a different language. I'm trying to learn a different language. It's not that easy. So like to learn another different language, we can understand the struggles with that. So it could really be nice to have.
The 15-year-old Odom twins, Jason and Jessica, are two-year program veterans.
What is it that you like about creating the stories?
Working with the computer technology to collaborate.
Like about Books and Beyond, about working on your stories and the projects. What are you learning?
I'm learning that like what I like that we can like come from elementary, middle school with college students, and that can like collide like a lot of different age groups. You don't really socialize outside your age group, so to work with them on a story, it's really nice.
I think it's really nice because like I've always thought about writing a book like later in life, but now I get to learn like stuff about it, the main like how to write a book, and I'm actually getting like the opportunity to write a book.
And how do you think this is going to help you later on?
It was like very awkward. I was scared like who am I gonna get? Like is she gonna like me?
I was like, I hope she's not boring, but I hope she's gonna like me. I hope I'm not too pushy. Like there's a lot that you're just like curious. I hope it goes well.
And did it?
It went really well.
I feel like someone really specifically picked her for me.
Yeah.
Like it was like
They matched the personalities.
Do you think they were nervous?
Yeah.
She told me they were waiting. They made like little signs
Yeah.
like welcome to Jan. Yeah.
That's great. What do you I had the opportunity to watch a group of teen students in Newark working with their Global Village mentors on a Saturday in December, as you know, because you were with me. And it was really interesting because a lot of their classmates were away on a field trip. They do go to school on Saturday, but they didn't seem to resent not being on the field trip. They seemed to be having a really good time. I could listen in on some of the conversations, and it was really clear that they'd developed relationships with their college student mentors. And everybody seemed to be working hard but enjoying it. So after they finished their work for the day, I sat down and talked with several of them.
Writers Kathy on Love and Nadrea Futrell, first-time story writers, about meeting and working with their college mentors.
Did either of you go on the IU trip?
We both went.
You did. Okay. Had you met your partners before?
No.
So this was the first time.
Yeah.
What was that